Have you ever wondered how a song goes from start to finish in one session? Well, today I'm going to prove that it's possible because the biggest challenge for many musicians is taking their ideas and making them into a completed song. And I'm going to show you how to do it live, step by step in a jazz production. So stick around to see the secrets that I use to get it done fast with no fluff at all. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today. This is going to be a masterclass in song production. I'm going to show you how to literally take whatever idea that you have in your head. It doesn't matter if you just came up with it yesterday, or if you've been sitting on it for, 3, 4, 5 years. We'll show you how to make that idea into a song really, really, really quickly. So let's do this. Let's go over here. I'm going to dive into my DAW here. Let me go get my screen set up here. Let's go to my screen right. So here we have Cubase, and I'm going to put my trusty headphones on here. Trusty headphones so I can be able to hear what's going on. And to save time, I've gone ahead here and set up what I call my music production sort of template. And basically this is just a template where I already have some instruments, the instruments that I normally use the most, loaded in so that they are there. I don't have to go through this process every time I want to set up a session or anything and I want to compose something from scratch. See a lot of you guys coming there in the live chat. Hey, Motif, thank you for being here. Hey, Night Train saying howdy from Kansas. Hey, thank you for being here, Night Train. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to talk through my process here, and then we're going to build a song from scratch. So what I want you guys to do, you guys that are first there in the live chat, I'm going to let you guys pick. So we've already, well, let me go over here and show you this. What I'll do first, let me go back to my main screen here. I want to show you what our poll results were when we put out the poll. So you see here, when I said this is 5 days ago now, so I'm going to do a live stream where a music production live stream, and these were the genres, and jazz was the one that won. So it's at 36%. So that's the one we're going to do. We're going to do a jazz production. Now, what I want you guys to do while I'm talking through this for just a brief moment is I want you to pick the tempo that we're going to choose for this. So I have my tempo down here in my project. It's already at 120. That's the default. You guys can just select a number. So I would say anything from, I don't know, 60 BPM to, I don't know, 140. So just pick a number, put it in the chat. The first couple I'll choose from those, and then that's the tempo we'll create this song from. And I'll let you also do the key. So tell me what key you want the song in, what musical key. You guys know music and you guys know instrumentation. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, flat, sharp, whatever. Let me know in the chat what you guys are doing, or what key you want it in and what the tempo you want. Okay. So now let me just take a second, and I want to show you my process. I've broken my process down into 3 distinct parts. And I'll go over here first to my my whiteboard to show you this. So I'll write this down for you. So my first part in my music production, we'll label this as, I'll say P1, and excuse my handwriting here. I hate writing I'm writing on my iPad and I hate writing on that. So we'll call this the foundation. Okay, and I got that there. You guys know what it is. I ran out of room there. So the foundation. Now, the foundation is where basically what we're going to do, what we're talking about now. We're going to talk about the key of the song. So key. I'm sorry, let me redo that because that's horrible. I want you guys at least to have this and be legible. Okay, there we go. K-E-Y. There we go. So we talk about the key of the song. We talk about the tempo, or BPM, however you want to label it, BPM, right? So those are the things we're talking about in the foundation. So we'll choose those things in the initial setup here. So let's go back over to our DAW, and we'll do that. So The first one I saw is from Harp. He's saying 95 BPM and B flat. And then I'm seeing from Deontay E flat minor, 88 BPM. 88 and 95 are pretty close, and B flat and E flat are really close in key as well. So let's do, what's the halfway point between 88 and 95? So 90, let's just say 90. We'll just do a round number. Let's just say 90. So I'll set my DAW here at 90. Down here, you saw that there. And B flat or E flat minor, flip a coin. Okay, let's do B flat. Let's do B flat minor, or B flat, regular B flat major. So you didn't say B flat minor. Deontay is saying E flat minor. So, okay, yes, definitely B flat. So let's do, since Deontay said minor, let's do B flat minor. How about that? Let's do B flat minor. Okay, so what we have here, let me start I don't think you guys will be able to hear it. You'll be able to hear everything I'm going to play here, except for my metronome. So when I turn my metronome here, it doesn't go through the live stream, so I can hear it once I hit play now. It's clicking, ta, 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 ta. That's our BPM, right? Ta, 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 at 90. So one of the things I'll start with is, so the idea, I guess we can do something. We're talking about jazz, so I'll do some like contemporary kind of smooth jazz thing, especially at this tempo. So what I'll start here with is like probably a beat. So, and let me show you my instrumentation here. One of my favorite drum processors and my drum instruments is Battery from Native Instruments. This is one of my favorite drum libraries. So I'll pull this out. I already have a kit, one of my favorite kits pulled up. So you can see, you'll be able to hear what I can do here. Let me turn this on. You hear my kicks and all my drums here, right? So this is one of my favorite kits. So I'll just start with this just to get the idea down. So let me set my start here at beat 3 so I can give a 2 measure count in. And then what we'll do is I'll just play some drums on this. So at this tempo, whatever comes to mind. Let me see where my kick drum, it's my snap, this is my hi-hat. Okay, let's do that. Let's just record. I'm gonna record the first thing that comes to mind. Let's go. Let's see. Let's play that. 2 3 4 1 2, ready, and all right, so I got a little measure there. What is it going, about 4 measures? Let me do this. And then what I like to do, especially when I'm composing, is quantize this. And let me bring this screen over here so you can see what this looks like. So this is everything I just played in a MIDI format, and I'll just go hit. This is the great thing about Cubase. You can easily just quantize this. So I'll go down, and let me check. Let me just play that back first. Let me make sure I like what I did first. So let me check that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You guys like that? Like that beat so far? So we'll do that. Let's hit the quantize button, and that'll make it a little bit more on beat. So let's go. Ooh, one of them went off. Okay, so what was that? That was this one. So we need to move that over right there. There we go. All right, so then what I'll do from there is I'll go over here, and let me get my mouse going here. I've been having some connection issues with my mouse. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate this. So let's say, just for the sake of this, let's just do, I'll do it a few times here. So let's just move it down like that. What are we at? So that's about 2.5 minutes, which that should be good enough to get us a song going. So this pattern now is just repeated. So let me play it there. Then it just repeats. So it keeps going. So I got a whole pattern going. And that's what I like to start with. This is my foundation. And since I'm a really big drum person, I like drum and percussion sounds. What I'm going to do is go, before I get any other instruments going, I'm going to add to this. I'm going to add some percussion kind of stuff to this. This is one of my, like my shaker library. Let me move this up so you can see that. Somebody's asking what DAW is this in the chat. This is Cubase. I'm using Cubase Pro 14. So this is one of my favorite shaker and sort of percussion instruments. This is, let me bring this over. This is called Shimmer and Shake Strike 2, and it's by In Session Audio. Cool. It has really nice patterns in it. Let me let you guys hear some of what it can do. So I'll just hit a button. That kind of stuff, and then I can have different patterns and stuff going in it, like one like this. So different kind of patterns and stuff going. And so what I'll do, I have the patterns here. Let me go over here to what I want to do is, since this is slower, let me half time this. So let's do, it'll do this. Maybe, let me see. I like that one. So let's program that. Let's use that with our beat. Let's go in here. So what we got, let's play. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, and. Yeah, that sounds good. So now I'll go ahead and hit record on that. So I just wanted to see how it sounded. Let's hit record. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we got that. So, and then we'll go over, let's hit the, make sure that's straight. I always like my MIDI stuff here to be straight. So, and then we'll do, my mouse is giving me issues again. So apply the quantize, there we go. So what we'll do is the same thing we just did with the drum loop. I'll go over here and let me make that smaller. And then we'll go over here and copy that all the way down. So now we got a whole loop right there. So all right, so like, see, we already got a groove going, and this is like, for me, this is how I get inspired. Like, you can see me bobbing to this already. Like, I can start hearing stuff in my head from just like this groove going. All right, cool. All right, so now from there, what I like to do is I'm building everything from like a foundation up, right? So let me go back. Can you guys see me? I've been having my camera off this whole time. I'm so glad I saw that. So yeah, that's my drums and stuff so far. And I like to have my, like, build everything from like a foundation up. So drums and bass and all of that. So let's go to a bass. Now, this is one of my favorite synth basses. I have a synth bass and a regular finger bass, like you'd be playing a live finger bass loaded up here. I'll show you guys what I'm using on this for the synth bass. I'm using, let me bring this over. I use Trillion from Spectrasonics. The bass that I have loaded up here is called the Simple Mini Moog Saw bass. This is one of my favorite basses. This is what it sounds like. If you guys can hear that. Kind of loud. I'll turn that down just a little bit because it's a little loud. So there we go. One of my favorite basses. And then this finger bass, this is Easy Bass. One of my favorite bass modules too. And this is the gospel bass that they have. So this is a really cool. This is the same company that makes Superior Drummer and Easy Drummer and all of that. This is the Easy Bass. So for this, I think I'll go with the synth bass. It sounds more like a synth bass kind of thing. So all right, let's get our key. We said we were going to be in B flat. What did I say? B flat minor. So let's think of some chord changes. Let's start on, okay, we'll start on the B flat, and then let's go to E flat, and then we'll go to G flat, and then, I don't know, F. So that'll be our pattern, 4 chord pattern. So B flat, E flat, G flat, F, and then back to B flat. So let me play with that a little bit and see what I can come up with. Let's see what we got. 2, ready, and. So something like that. That sounds okay. Let's see what we can make out of it. I'll record that just because that's the idea that came up. Let's do it. Let's see. And I'll play a little bit more stuff in the bass line to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's see. Ready, and. So something like that. That works. Let's see what we got. Let me quantize that just so I can make it sound good. Then let's listen back to see what we have. 1, 2, ready, and. Yeah, that's groovy. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty groovy. Let me copy that all the way down. I don't know that I'll do that pattern. We'll probably change the pattern up at some point, but just right now, let me copy it all the way through. So that's what we have. And then let's just keep building from there. So this is kind of my first part of it. This is the foundation of building a song. It's a mind dump for me, a brain dump. Whatever is coming to mind, this is what I put down, and I see if I can make something of it. I think what happens is a lot of musicians get stuck and they start thinking like, oh, this sucks, this doesn't sound good, or this doesn't match up with the other stuff that I heard. Like, you got to forget all of that. Just get the idea going, and then you can once you have that idea, you can change it into something or make it into something a whole lot better than what it is. So let's keep it moving here. I'll talk about just really briefly my second part of this, which is, I'll go back over to my whiteboard here and let me erase this. And what we'll do is I'll put part 2 is what I call the core. And this is where we get into things like the chord structures. So chords, whatever chords I'm going to use in that key of B flat minor. The things like the instrumentation, which we're kind of picking out a little bit here now. I'll just abbreviate that INST. So those are the kind of things that I'm looking for in this thing, just to kind of build from the house. I've built the foundation, which is kind of the drums and bass, more or less. And then I'm building up from there. I'm trying to see what I can put on top of that drum and bass sound to make it sound good. So let's go back over here and do that. Let's start with our chords. Let's go. We're talking about jazz and smooth jazz. So I'll get my my Rhodes here, and I'll bring this up just a little bit so you guys can see that a little bit more. This is my Rhodes. Now, what I'm using for my piano and Rhodes sounds is Keyscape. You guys, everybody knows about Keyscape and Trillion and Omnisphere. I have all of those VST libraries, and this is by a company called Spectrasonics. This is, to me, by far the best piano and keyboard VST library out. So if you wonder what that was. And what I have loaded up is the Rhodes Classic. This is one of my favorite Rhodes. I've done some tweaks to how it normally comes set. I've changed this depth. This is like the rotary depth. I'll let you hear what this sounds like. Right. That's what that sounds like. So let me get my pedal here. Just make sure my pedal's okay. So we're in the key of B flat minor. So what did I say the keys we were going to? We were doing B flat minor to E flat to G flat to F. Is that what I did? And back to B flat. So something like, let me just play with that while it's in my head. 2, 3, and. works for me. Let me record it. I was just trying to come up with an idea to make sure I had something down. Let me get that recorded before I forget the idea. Let me go over here to this and hit my, there we go. Let's get that recorded. Ready and. And then what we'll do, make that out to a pattern. Now with this one, I don't like to quantize my keyboard sounds. It's just mostly the foundational stuff like the drums and bass. So what I'll do from now, let me just make sure that's not being cut off anywhere at the end there. Okay, we're good. And then, yeah, we're good. So let me just repeat that. I'll copy and paste that just like I did these other ones, just to keep it going. Wait a minute, let me see. Something's going on there. Okay, copy and paste that on down all the way up to right there. Now we got ourselves a song going. Like, you see how this is already pretty much a song. We got a whole foundation going here. Let's take a listen to it one more time. Yeah, that's hot. And it just repeats. So from there, let's continue building this. What I would do from there is probably go, again, we're talking about smooth jazz. I know that genre really well. So I'll put maybe a pad on top of it just to kind of give it some background atmosphere, kind of sexy thing. And I just talked about, I'll show you guys what I'm using here. This is Omnisphere from Spectrasonics. Let me bring that over so you can see it. This is Omnisphere. Now, what I'm using, I have a couple of pads in here that I've kind of saved as my favorite. I'm using the Basic Dark pad Velocity. That's what the Velo stands for. So let me turn that down because this pad tends to be really loud. Play a little bit of that and let you hear what it sounds like. So I can turn it back up a little bit more. There we go. Now with this, basically what I'll do is almost kind of copy just the same chords or play the same chords I did with the keys. But what I'll do is, what happens a lot of times if I play, you see how this road, the keys that we just played, the roads is, let me turn the record off. That's kind of down in that low mid octave. And if I play the pad with the same thing, so they kind of cover each other up a little bit. So let me see if I can play that up an octave. Let me turn it down a little bit more just to hear what it sounds like. So I'll play, instead of here, I'll play it here. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah. So let's do that. Let me turn everything back on here. Let's play that, and then let me give myself the count in back there. So, all right. 1, 2, There we go. Got ourselves a song. Now what I would do is kind of turn that down a little bit so it stays more in the background. Let me turn down just a little bit more. There we go. So, and then let me, I'm trying to get my mouse here to work, guys. My mouse connectivity on my computer, I don't know what happened with it today. It was just acting a little crazy. So I'm literally, I have my, this is a wireless mouse, and the connectivity thing, I'm having to hold it in my hand to kind of move it, because when I sit it here, see, now I'm moving it, it doesn't even want to do anything. So I have to kind of do, it's the weirdest thing that's happening today, technology. But anyway, so what I'll do is copy this all the way down like this. And there we got ourselves a sort of song there. Let's listen to that. Nice. Okay, so now from there, let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Hey, thank you guys so much for being here. My homeboy Leonis here, man. My boy from my brother from another mother. Hey, what's up, Leo? JP saying evening. Sounds smooth. Sounds smooth. Thanks so much. And Melita saying good evening. Thank you guys for being here. So now we have ourselves a sort of foundation and we have a sort of core of the song. Now, what I like to do from there, I'll go over here and show you again on my whiteboard what I like to do from there. So my part 3 of this is, let me delete this. Really simple. So I'll put P3 here and I'll call this, I have some not so proper names that I call this section that I won't write on here. I'll just call this, I'll label it sexy. Let's call it sexy. So this is adding what I call adding the sexy after your foundation and after your core. This is kind of what makes the song the song. So this is the stuff like the melody, melody. So the melody, things like that. And then what I like to call ornamentation. I'll just be ORN. So ornamentation. What I mean by that is just like, if you think about a Christmas tree, like the ornaments on the Christmas tree, it's what makes the song beautiful. It's what makes the tree beautiful, right? The tree by itself is a nice tree, but it's when you put the ornaments on it and all of the decorations is what makes it look good. So this is what I call this part of my song. So let me show you what that looks like in the production. So we'll start with the melody. Now, this is always, for many people, this is always a difficult thing to come up with. Let me move my piano because we'll make it a piano song. And for my piano, I'm using the same thing. I'm using Keyscape over here, and I have the piano loaded up. I like the C7 Studio piano, and this is what it sounds like. Beautiful piano. So what I like to do with melody, again, I don't like to overthink this. I like to keep it really, really, really simple. So what I'll think, we're in the key of B flat minor. So this is our key. That's our scale. B flat natural minor scale, right? So what I'll do is just in that scale, I'll use something like the intervals within that scale. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Or back to 1. What I'll do is I'll just think of the numbers. I'll think 1, 3, 2, 5, and then 4, and then 7, right? So I can think of patterns like that. And I'll just come up with something in my head. So I have no idea what I'm about to play right now. So I'll just come up with something as I'm doing it. So let me go back here to my start time. Let's see. 2, ready, and well, wait, I don't want to record yet. So let me turn the record button off so that doesn't record just in case I mess up. Okay, 2, ready, and so. Something like that, right? I don't, and I should, that's so funny I said I should have recorded that because I'm not going to remember exactly what I just did. Let me go ahead and try to record, and I'll just use whatever comes up. So what I'm doing here on the piano, if you guys don't know, this is what a lot of smooth jazz does. So it's playing what I just did, the melody, it's doing it in an octave structure. So instead of like this one note, I'm doing this same note, B flat, down an octave as well. So it's like, so you'll hear that, and then sometimes it's in double octaves where you'll hear this B flat and then this one up here. So you'll hear that sometimes, and then you'll hear sometimes the close octaves up here as well. Brian Culbertson likes to play in that octave up there. So what I'll use just for this, I'll just use this octave. So I'll use these two. You say you hear me typing on the keyboard? Yeah, that's one of the things about this keyboard. It's literally right here under my microphone. So sorry about that, guys. I'll try to be more quiet with it. I'll do. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's just come up with something. Let me do the melody here. Let's see. 2 and hit a wrong note there. That's all right. Let me do it again. I don't like that. So, because I messed up there. Let me try it one more time. And let's see. I did dun, 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 dun. That's what I did the first time. 2, ready, and. Something like that. That works. Just to kind of get the idea down. So, and I can always play with this later. This is literally, you see, I'm playing simple, like whole notes and half notes. I'm not doing anything complicated. It's just like, it's like nothing complicated at all, but it's this simplicity that makes a song like that. So let's listen to that. Let's see what it sounds like. And. Right. So that's it. That's how I kind of build the core structure of it. So this is like the melodic structure, and I can change. This is what I would call like the other part in the sexy or the structure part, or the sexy part of this is the structure of the song. So like I could call this like my chorus or my verse or whatever. So this would more likely be my verse, and then I could change stuff up to go into the chorus and then go into the vamp and all of that kind of stuff. That's what I like to do. Okay, so wow. So somebody's saying, are you supposed to be hearing? You guys can't hear what I'm doing here? Oh my God, let me see what's happening. Wow. Okay, so man, I'm gonna look over here to the chat. Let me see what's happening. Let me see what's going on here, guys. It's always some technology thing that's happening. So let's see. Let me change that up. So you guys can't hear anything, huh? Wow. It's technology, guys. This is kind of what happens. So let me figure it out just for a second. Let me see. Let me try something here. I should be going to session wire. Let's see. Okay. So that you guys hear me tapping my keyboard, but you can't hear me playing. This is And you guys were hearing it at first, right? You guys were hearing it at first. And it just stopped. Let me do this. Let me go to my main camera here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me close this and I'm gonna load it back. Just to I want to double check that it's not an issue with that. Give me just 1 second. Sorry about this, guys. This is what happens with technology when you're trying to do stuff live. Happens to everybody. I hear it on everybody's live stream, so it's all good. We're gonna make it work. Let's see. Okay, now let's load that project back up. And let's see if this works. Hopefully we'll get this going. It is loading. Give me 1 second. Somebody's saying it stopped when I went to the piano. Okay. Huh, that's strange. Okay. All right, let me see what's happening now. There we go. It's playing, right? You guys just heard that? It's kind of loud. Let me see. Let me turn that down a little bit. There we go. Looks like it's coming through, right? You say you heard everything up to the piano, so now it should be playing, right? You guys hear that? Right? I know you guys, it's a delay from me saying this until you guys hearing it. So let me know if you guys can hear this, what's going on now. Melita saying it was nice watching you work. Brian is saying, yes, you can hear now. Okay, great. We're back. Okay. So let me go back. What I'll do is, since you guys didn't hear the piano that I was doing here, let me go back to my DAW. Let me play it again. Make sure you guys can still hear this while I'm on this screen. There we go. So it looks like it's playing. Okay, so you guys didn't hear me playing. So this is what I was doing on the piano. I can just redo it because I don't know what I did anyway. So I was making it up as I go. So again, what I like to do is, what I was explaining is the piano here. This is our scale, B flat minor scale. And what I like to do with the melodies is I just take like some intervals in that scale, like really easy. Instead of going up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'll just do like 1, 4, 2, 5, 4, 7, stuff like that. And just trying to kind of think of a melody as I was going. So what I did with this melody, I think I did something like 1, 5, 4. Let me just do it again. Let me see if I can make up something as we go. Let me record. So, all right, let's try it again. Okay, here we go. 2, ready, and I did. Something like that, just something really simple, just to kind of get it, get it going. It's not complicated at all. I'm literally, like I was just saying before you guys told me it wasn't working. It's literally, I'm just doing whole notes and half notes, dun, 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 dun. Whole notes, quarter notes, and some sixteenths here and there. And all I'm doing is using that B flat minor scale, just using notes. And what I like to do, here's the key with melodies, guys. Here's the key, and one of the keys, at least, that I like to do, and one of the keys that I found. You kind of want to make your melodies sound like they are complete. So what I mean is, like, it's like a sentence. So, like, if I speak a sentence to you now, like, I don't know, the sky outside is blue. That sounded like I ended a sentence, right? And you hear people when they're doing that bad language, when they say, like, the sky outside is blue, like they're telling you something and it sounds like they're asking a question, right? What I like to do with the melodic structure is make it sound like it's a complete sentence. So you see how when I was doing, what did I do? Dun, what did I say? 1, 5, dun, 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 dun. It's like that's a complete sentence. So I have like a complete sentence structure in here. So, and then I'll speak another sentence, whatever I did next. I'm like always back on that B flat. So listen to that. Let me play it again and listen to it. Complete sentence. Start the next sentence. Complete sentence, right? And then that last part is what I call just adding some sass to it. So once you complete the sentence, it's like, yeah, that's what I said, kind of thing, right? So that's the kind of the way I think about going from from this core to the sexy part of it, where you're adding this stuff. Now from here, we got a song. We got a complete idea for a song. If I wanted to do this, what I would normally do is just go take this and I would divide this up. So I would say, like I said earlier, this is the chorus. And then I would do maybe something right here where I take the pad out. So I just kind of give it something different and then go into like a verse. So let me play this like last part of it and I'll show you what I mean. That's the whole chorus. Then we go into the verse. I'll do. Something like that. That's why I kind of get fancy, because it's a piano driven song. So I would use those verses to kind of get a little bit more. The chorus parts, and this is another trick to doing your music. The chorus parts is one of the tricks to it is if you can make it simple enough for people to remember and be able to sing in their heads, you always got yourself a good chorus. So this is something you can easily remember this. Like you can go around and hum that. Whistle it even, right? Versus if I had some really complicated stuff like, us really talented musicians like to do is like to overcomplicate stuff like this. Like, can't nobody remember that, right? You start trying to do stuff like that. So this is the trick to doing that. So like what I would do again is divide this up. Now, what I would do after that is maybe this is where I would kind of divide sections up. So let me go to, just for the sake of this, I'll go to the end of this so you can, where did I put that? Let's go to the end of this. Let's dub these a little bit more down. And what we're going to do is imagine this section, what I just copied. We'll imagine that this is back here. Like after, this is the chorus part right here, what I just did there. And then we'll say these two right here, the verse parts. And what we'll do is just imagine right here is these two parts that I just copied. So what I like to do is something really simple, is just change up the monotony. So you got that same pattern going over and over and over again. I'll just break the monotony. So just do a different pattern. I'll come back on my, let's see, go to my bass here. That's what I had. And I'll do something different with the chord structure and the bass. So maybe I'll start with, again, we're in the key of B flat minor. So maybe I'll start with, let's say we'll start on G flat this time. And then go to, let's just go up G flat, A flat. And then let me just make it up as I go, so I don't get to think about it too much. So 1, 2, ready, and. Then we'll repeat that again. So let me double that. So let's quantize it first, like we've been going through our quantize process. So apply quantize. That'll straighten those notes out. And didn't mean to do that all the way that far at least. So put it there. And then we'll dub that again. Let's bring this over so we'll have our beat going right there. So, and then I'll just come put some chords on top of that. Just build the same thing that we've been doing. And again, you see me making this up off the top of my head. So go to my Rhodes. Okay, what did I do? I did a G flat to B flat, G flat to A flat, and to F to B flat. So then E flat, A flat, D flat. So it's like a 2-5-1 pattern thing. So all right, let me see. 2, ready, and. Let me do it like this. Let me do it one more time. 1, 2, ready, and. Something like that. So I'm repeating it again. And then maybe I would do something right there. So maybe I'll come back and change that pattern, because I want something to get me back to the chorus part. So that's good enough. That's kind of good enough what we had. So now let's go back to our pad, put our pad on top of it. And I missed that chord change idea right there. Let me do it one more time. And just missed it again. I forgot I'm doing this on the spot, you guys. So let me try it again. So it's that B flat. I got it. And chord change right here. There we go. Repeating again. Hit the chord change up, keep missing. There we go. I didn't even do it that time on the rolls, but it's all good. All right. So that's kind of we'll call that our, I don't know, our sub bridge or sub chorus. So that would be like a change going into the chorus. So let's make up some sort of melody to put on top of that. That'll take us into that chorus. So let's go back to our piano here. I'm just going to go off the spot. Again, all I'm using is this B flat minor scale. What I was talking about earlier when the piano got cut off was that the octaves of the piano, usually in jazz, the smooth jazz kind of thing, you hear the piano playing in octaves like that. So instead of doing like let's say that was my melody, you would hear it in 2 octaves. So you hear both of these. And, you know, you could hear it in the close octaves like that, or you could hear where you skip an octave where you have this and then this up here. So you have, and then I mentioned that what Brian Culbertson, he's a jazz artist, that he likes to do is play in the upper octaves up here like these 2. So actually, let's do that. Let's put a little Brian Culbertson feel on here and use these octaves for this chorus that we're doing, or what we're calling the sub chorus. And I'm just going to make up something off the top of my head as we go. Let's go. 1, 2, and... So this is going to take me back to the chorus. So again, just made up something there. Now we got a whole different section of the song here. So check it out. Now wait, so what we do, let's do this. Let's copy and paste this where it's supposed to go. So I'll let you guys hear what this sounds like coming from this part. So I said that this was my verse. So let's erase all of this right here. Actually, all this all the way up to, let's delete that. Okay, yeah, we did that right. And then let's go, what we'll do is put the, just delete that all the way back to there. My mouse is killing me again. Okay, so there we go. And then we'll delete that. And then what we'll do is get this and we'll drag it over. Let's make sure this is going on the bar. Just drag it over to this part. So, okay, this was us coming out of the intro part, the chorus part right here. And then I said I'll make up a verse. So let's make up a verse or something right quick for the piano as well. So I'll record something. Verse. Complete sentence, right? Then then go to the other part. That's the part we just recorded a while ago. So we got a whole song there. So let me go back. Let's listen to this from the top. This is everything from the beginning. This is where we started, right here, all the way through this part. Let's just jam to it right quick. Our chorus, pad layout, verse, and yeah. Going to the next part, sub bridge, and then it goes back to the chorus. We'll just copy and paste the chorus. And that, my friends, we literally have a song in less than an hour, probably around. So we've been on for 50 minutes now, about 52 minutes. So literally, and then if you cut off the time where the piano stuff cut off, you're literally talking about 40, 45 minutes. You got a song, like very simple, not overthought, not, taken to any sort of extreme level. Now, is this a number one hit that's going to be on the radio? Who knows? You kind of don't think about this stuff as you're composing. You just kind of want to get your ideas out and see what they formulate into. I could have taken this song a million different ways. If you guys would have chosen another key, another tempo, or a different genre or whatever, it could have been something completely different. But this is how it came out. This is just like the brain dump of it. And what I would do from here is, like I say, generally speaking, to me, a song like this, the melody is the thing that's most important. So I will kind of save that for last. Everything I've been doing is just kind of messing around with it. I would probably still keep something close to that, but I would just mute this piano, just kind of play through this a little bit, see the things that I like about it. See some things that I could change. Now I'm already thinking about something I could do here. So let me do this. As I'm thinking about it, let me show you I can do it on the spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add another instrument. Let me bring this over. If I can get my mouse here to work. Bring this over. So what is the instrument I'll use? It's in, I know what it is. It's Peculiar Sounds. That's the one I would use. This is a VST by gospel producers. My guy, John Mike over there. You guys know about John Mike that does a lot of gospel production stuff on YouTube. Shout out to John Mike, man. This is a great VST. So what I'm thinking in here is I'll take this, and this has some sounds in it. Let me find that. This is a bell sound that I like. So this is the one that I like? Maybe it's one of these. Not that one. That sounds cheesy. Something like that. We could work with that one. So what I'll go do is kind of like, what I like to do with the melody is kind of like you remember how I just talked about how it's a complete sentence? Well, what I like to do is have a conversation instead of one person talking. So what I'll do is have the piano talking, doing the speech, giving its presentation, and then I'll have someone responding. And then that's what I'll do with this bell. So I'll look for the cracks in this melody. So check this out. So let me turn the piano back on here. So check this out. I'm doing. See, you hear all that space right there where the piano isn't doing nothing. So it can be like so the piano is saying something, da, 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 and then somebody's responding, okay. And then, da, 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 yeah, I got you, kind of stuff, right? So that's what I'm going to do with the bell. I'm just kind of going to think of something to kind of answer this piano with. So let's see. What am I doing? What do I do with piano? Da, 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 da. So let me see where I'll put it. Let me play through it real quick. It kind of got in there. So this is why I would play with this sentence structure and this conversation thing. So my first inclination was to kind of put it like right where the piano stops at, da, 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 da. But the piano hasn't completed its sentence yet. So I was trying to wait till it completed its sentence. But the problem was when it completed the sentence, it went right into another one. So let me see if I can put something in there just really simple to kind of get in between there. So. Something simple right there, just an answer. So let's see if that works. That's cool, but let me try another. That's not the bell that I like. It sounds better maybe with this bell pad. Let me try that one. Something like that. And let me do it up in octave. So let me change that octave up there. How about that? See how it works? Music is really, this has always been so much the interesting thing about music to me, to where you can create this kind of stuff. It's these subtleties within these songs that, like, you don't really think about in those terms until you just start doing it and producing the music, and you can complete this playing off each other. Now here's an even bigger trick. This is just two instruments. I chose the piano and the bell doing that. I could make this conversation happen between all of these tracks, right? Or even add something like a guitar and have it doing that. So I could even do, check this out. Let me just, what I'm saying with the drums. So since the drums is a pattern that keeps going, I could do, let me get between the piano and the bell with like the kick drum or something, just add another kick drum. Let me see how it works. See that? So listen. I need to quantize it though, so it sounds like it's on beat. Apply quantize. There we go. So listen again. Just a little simple stuff like that, that just makes the song the song. It's all of that's it's so interesting to me. And let me erase that because I don't want to keep that. It's just an idea. So even say I wanted to do something with, I don't know what instrument I have in here. Bass. Let's take this out. Let's do synth bass. So what am I doing? Let me see what I'm doing with bass. Okay, so let's answer it with the bass. Let's see if we can put something in there. Just something simple like that. It's like it's saying, okay. It's like you saying, hey, I got you, bro, right here. Okay. You see how that, like, that's always so fascinating to me when you can do music like that. And it's the little subtleties like that you can put in music again to make it interesting. And you can play off this kind of thing throughout the entire song. And it's just the subtle stuff. It's not anything complicated. I wouldn't go and put like another piano in here to compete with the thing that's trying to get the attention. I would even add something like I did the drums. So I would add and then change it up. So this is another trick. So to give the piano a more stern foundation to kind of play on, when the piano starts doing something different in this section or right here, I may go in and change. We could do that now. Let's change the hi-hat pattern. Let me erase that. And then that one. Come on, click thing. Mouse is killing me here again. Okay. So what's my hi-hat? So this is the piano, or not the piano. This is the hi-hat. Let's go to see what that was sounding like before. This is the beat with the hi-hat. So just, all right. So now when it changes to this pattern, I'll just go in and probably do a little bit of the same thing, just make it a little bit more interesting. So let me just do it off the top of my head as I'm thinking about it. So let me set that right here. Go and move that over. This is where we're going to start recording. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, and something like that. And let me quantize it because again, that's that was horrible. Let me click on that and then go to quantize. Make sure that works now. Let's close this out so you can see what that looks like. 1, 2, this is a change right here. Actually, that quantize messed it up, but it's so funny that came out actually neat. So I think I'm gonna keep that. So let's delete those. And let me glue that together, and then we'll copy this pattern all the way through that part. So it just changes up a little bit and give the song a little bit more pizzazz. So check it out. This is going into the other part. Guess I should turn the drums on, huh? There we go. 1, 2, and listen. See, it just gives the song, it's very subtle, but it's those subtle changes that gives the song its flavor. This is the part 3. This is adding the sexy and the ornaments to the song that I was talking about. This is how you get a song going. All right, so let me know what you guys are thinking over here in the chat. Let me go check out, see what you guys are saying. Let me go back up. You guys are still talking about that thing. Well, yes, you can hear it now. Yes, you can hear it now. JP is here from South Africa, man. Always good to have you here, man, from across the pond. Demetrius saying, hi, Terrence. Enjoy your last video. You be telling facts. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Motif is saying, so keen for this one. I can't stay now, but we'll come back for the replay. Cool. See you on the replay then, Motif. Thanks for being here. Melita saying, really enjoying this. You got me singing here. Yeah, that's the trick. My thing with songwriting and when I'm writing music is I want it to be something, for at least this is my approach. When I'm coming up with something, I want it to be singable. I want it to be stuff that people can hum later when they hear it. They can hear it once or twice and it'll kind of stick in their head a little bit. And that kind of makes it memorable for them. And that's what makes people like it. Fergus saying, the double octaves reminds me of Latin. Yeah, that it is. It's a good call on that one, Fergus. That's a Latin tune where they do if I can turn my piano back on here, let me see. Hopefully you guys can still hear. There we go. So yeah, the kind of Latin thing. So yeah, they definitely play that in octaves, but that's a thing that kind of people do in jazz too, when it's just taking melodic structures and do that. So yeah, that's a good call for it. You also saying nice, thanks, man. And then Brian is saying amazing. And then Frank is also saying thanks again, Brian. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you there. Frank is also saying I was not aware of this from John Mike. Yeah, cool. Yeah, man. John Mike got some good stuff over there, bro. He got some really good plugins. His content is great too. So you guys check out his YouTube channel, man. He got some really good content. Frank is saying very good insight. Yeah, man. I'm glad you getting something from it. You're saying that difficulty is that the Rhodes is already kind of answering. Yeah, it is. And you're right about that. And see, that's the thing. This is how, when you start thinking about the music like that, where now that I have this idea, I can listen to it and I can say, oh, I want this the answer, but now this other instrument is in the way. I can do that. So now what I would do is probably go back, and because I got the Rhodes here, let me see, just solo that. So what I would do is probably just come back and play that more simplistic. So I would just do, so just foundation. Like that. I would just come and make it simpler so it's out of the way of everything. Matter of fact, since we're talking about it, let's do that now. Let's just get it out the way. Let's at least take that little part. And we'll go over here. Come on, mouse. Then we'll go here to our start. And we'll just play it simpler so to see what it sounds like. 2, ready, and. See? And that's the idea. Just that quick. See how you can call out something and then you can just fix it. Whatever is in your way. So now instead of you have this. Well, this is what it originally sounded, because this is the original. This is the original way it sounded. Actually, that's the verse. So, and then we can go back and listen to it. This is a simple way. Nothing in the way. The bell is answering now. See how that works? Got ourselves a song there, man. So yeah, good call on that, Ferg. Let's see. Lisa saying, "Oh, sweet, thank you." You saying, Ferg, you like the second one? Can't remember what you're talking about there. And then you said maybe add some percussion, bongos or congos. Probably, yeah, you can do that. I actually have a song out on my last album that I did. One of my original songs. It has some congas and stuff that I use on there. It just kind of depends. Like stuff like this. This is a more sexy kind of style song. So congas, in my mind, it's not really like a sexy, provides that sexy style of something. You know what I mean? I would put congas in something like more up tempo song where you can get some groove and stuff going, where the congas kind of make a little bit more sense. It's not that they couldn't work in here. You could absolutely do them. I'm just saying, for me, for my taste, I wouldn't necessarily think congas in this one, because I could do something like, I actually have one of my kits loaded up here, one of the battery things that I use. I think I have a conga on this one that I use somewhere. Let me see. It is, let me just. Yeah, so like, that was kind of a conga, that G. Maybe it's not this kit. Actually, let me load it up, because I know I have one. This is a good thing about these VSTs. You can kind of save stuff. So I can open the kit. So let me see if I have one somewhere. I had my congas. Let's see. No, so I don't have one for congas, but I have one. Maybe it's in one of these kits. Let me see. Let me try this one. If I go ahead and load there on me, don't freeze up. There we go. So there it is. That's the one I use. So there it is. So now let me, that one. So if I did something like this, so let's say, yeah, that sounds okay. It makes it a nice groove. I just wouldn't, it's a little bit of because percussion and congas and stuff like that it's kind of really repetitive, and it's kind of things like that. I want to keep the songs like this simple, and I want stuff to not be in the way. And you can tell how, like, if I'm trying to answer something like I did with the bells, this would be in the way. So like, I mean, like I said, it can work. It sounds fine. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just, for me, for my taste, particularly for this, what we just came up with, I probably wouldn't choose to do it. But yeah, that's a good call, man. Said nailed it with the simple rose. Love it. Yeah, man. That's how you make stuff work, man. Night Train saying, listening to this come together, some tenor sax keeps coming to mind. Yeah, you see this is exactly what happens, Night Train. This is exactly what happens when you start to build these ideas. You listen to it, and then you start to hear stuff like that. You start to say, oh man, I can hear some sax on this. I can hear some guitars. Like Ferg was just saying, man, I can hear some congas on this. Maybe some congas. This is how ideas come together. It's always the great part about this. You said now it works. And then Melita saying, yeah, that's beautiful. Thanks, Melita. You said, okay, makes sense. I appreciate your logic. This is so exciting to a fellow music producer to see the magic happen and see how how much we have in common. Music creation, so inspiration. Yeah, man. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. This is why I like collabing with people, man. Like you'd be surprised how much of the same stuff we have in common, and how we approach stuff, and how we can inspire each other in the stuff that we do, man, in our approaches to music. So yeah, again, this is how I would do this, man. I would just go, if I was taking this and making it into a song, and let me save this. Always make sure you save your work, guys. I've had so many hard drives and stuff crash over the years. I've learned to make 3 or 4 copies of my stuff. So when we coming up with something. So again, I would just take this and just kind of go through this process that we're all talking about here in the comments, just adding and subtracting stuff, see if it works, see what comes to mind, see how I can divide up those 3 sections again. If I can establish something else in the foundation, remove something from the foundation, add something to the core, the melody, make it more complex, make it simpler, whatever the case may be. And then the third part is adding that sexy to it, where you adding these little small things to it. So that's kind of how I would approach something like this. And this is how I approach all songs. So it doesn't matter if you guys would have voted. So yeah, I showed you the poll results, and the options were what? Jazz, pop, gospel, and rock. It doesn't matter which genre you told me. This is exactly the way I would have approached it. I start from the foundation of saying that, this is a rock song. If we would have chosen rock, my first instrument would have been some guitars, because rock music is kind of guitar heavy, right? So jazz, the same thing I just chose with this. If it was like a country song, I would have been doing some like acoustic guitar stuff. This like you kind of always start with these sort of premises that you have about the music, and then you can build the stuff from there. And that's how this music production works. So Harper saying the other part of creating something like this is to not overproduce it with all of the ideas. Yeah, knowing when it's finished or there's enough. That's absolutely right, man. It's a good call, man, because I think another mistake that a lot of us musicians do is we marry these ideas like really, really quickly. Like we come up with this, we got this idea right here going. It's like, oh my God, I'm in love. I don't want to change this. I want to add to it. I want to make it more. I don't want nobody to steal it. Like, bro, like it's not that serious. It's not that serious at all. So yeah, not overproducing, keeping stuff simple. There is a method to the madness of what's called the KISS method, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. There is something to be said about that. And I know early on in my sort of production career, when I started producing music, because I was really gung ho, I learned all of this stuff. I got a degree in music, and I was trying to apply everything I learned on every song, on every album, and stuff I was producing for myself and everybody else. I learned a new drum lick. Oh, I'm putting this drum lick in the song. Like, that's kind of how we think, right? And what you kind of have to do is just kind of let go of that stuff and let the song dictate to you what it wants. You see how we were doing that as this song was coming together. Like, some people were mentioning the congas, and it could be this, or the Rhodes is in the way. Like, you let these ideas flow as they come. So yeah, man. Ferg is also saying, I hope you make these live sessions regularly. Yeah, we are doing. We've been doing live sessions every week, man. We kind of talk about different topics. We dive into music production. I think a couple of weeks ago we talked about just the recording process and stuff like that. So yeah, we're doing these every week, and that's the official announcement to you guys. And I'm glad Ferg kind of gave me the opportunity to say this. We are going to keep this going. We've been doing live streams every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time, so Central Standard Time, CST. 3 p.m. On Wednesdays, and we're going to keep that going as long as we possibly can. As long as you guys are showing up, as long as you guys are saying you like it, we're going to keep this going. So put the announcement out, put it on your calendar, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So wherever you're watching from, make sure you do that time conversion, and we'll be here every week. Ferg is agreeing with you, Harp. Harp is also saying, where was the poll? It's on the YouTube community tab. So let me show you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you probably need to do that. So if you go to the channel, I'll show you this over here. This is the channel, and this is the community tab. I'll put posts on here. So this is the poll that I put up last week. See, it says right up above it 5 days ago. And again, the results here, I put jazz, pop, rock, gospel. Jazz won it out. Gospel was the kind of second one. And see, you guys kind of made it easy for me, because this stuff is my wheelhouse. Like if you would have chosen rock, like I said, I know rock really well too. All of these are in my wheelhouse, but if I had to put them in order, probably rock would be the last one. But like, I know all of these other genres, really, even country. I could have put country on here, and I know that genre really well too. So it was kind of an easy, easy thing for me, but especially jazz, that would probably be top of my list. My last album was a jazz album that I just put out last year. So like literally the same type of jazz that we just produced. So you guys made it kind of easy for me. But yeah, this is the community tab. So you'll see this, and it'll show up in your feed. Like when you're subscribed to the channel, and you turn on notifications and stuff like that, you'll get this in your feed. It'll show up when I put these kind of things up. I make announcements here too. See, like people was asking me about it. Going live today. I made this for last week's live stream 2 weeks ago, like going live today. So you'll see, I'll put out announcements and stuff for that. You guys can also join my mailing list if you haven't done that already. And the way you can do that is, let me show you. You can go, I know most of you guys probably are. Let's see, let's go to the videos. And if you go under any of the videos, let's just say my last video here, let me stop that from playing. And if you want to go in here, and what I do is, if you want to download any of this free stuff like this YouTube QuickStart course, you can just go here and click it and download it. And you click, yes, I want this. And once you put your name and email in there, you'll be on my email list. So you can do that. Download any of the free stuff that I have down here in the description of the videos. So you guys are on the mailing list, because I send out emails too. And I'll show you guys that. Let me see. Let me go over to, let's see where it is. I'll show you what the emails look like. So you'll see these when they come to your when they come to your inbox. I sent one out this morning at 9 a.m. This is the email right here. So this is from an email list. So this is the email I put out today about the live stream. So going live today, May 21st at 3 p.m. This is the stuff that we're going to cover: insider workflow, pro tips, real-time Q&A, and all of that kind of stuff that we've been doing so far in the live stream. And then I give you the link so you can click on the thing to join. So yeah, that's how you get the access to everything there, the live stream, the announcement about it, and everything that we're doing. Let me see. And then Brian is saying, I like your simple approach, but yet it's absolutely great. Yeah, man, thank you for saying that, Brian. It's really, I promise you, and the reason that I've gotten to this point is because, so don't get it twisted. Like don't try to label me as like this great producer or nothing like that. Because trust me, I've gone through the fire of getting to this point to where I've done that. That's how I know to do this stuff. Like the stuff I'm talking about, keeping stuff simple and overproducing, and like somebody mentioned earlier, and all of that. Like I've done all of that before, and it's come out not good. Some of it has come out as trash over the years. So I've just learned my lessons, man. And now I take a different approach that works a whole lot better for me. Even if you guys remember a couple of weeks ago when we talked about mixing and mastering music and how to mix and master, like my approach to that is like really, really simple as well. It's just like these simple, subtle moves that you do with the EQ and the compressor and the reverb and all of that kind of stuff that makes the music sound a whole lot better. So yeah, that's been my approach. Ferguson, I knew a guy that put chimes every 4 measures in every song. Man, I'm laughing because I promise you that I didn't do it. I wasn't that bad, but I wasn't far from it. Like if there was a sound or something that I really loved, that I just found that I liked, I would find a place to put it, even if it didn't fit. So like a while ago when you were talking about the congas, like if I like congas, I would make them fit into this song, whether or not it made sense or not. Man, I could be doing a rock song and something, or a classical song, and I'm like, man, I got to put some congas in this joint, because like I just like the instrument that much. I'll tell you guys a story. One of the videos I just put up on the channel a couple of weeks ago was about the new Roland V Stage piano that I just got, and I did a review of it. And I've been a fan of Roland keyboards and pianos for a very long time. My first Roland was the Roland Phantom X7. And I got it. It was in the year 2007. And it's so funny. I had worked on the album in 2007 before I got that keyboard. And I was about, I was probably about 85% finished with this album. And it was actually a Christmas album I was doing. And it was an instrumental album, kind of like what you hear now. I was playing all the melodies and stuff on piano. And then I went out and bought this keyboard, and I loved that keyboard so much. I loved the piano sounds in there so much. I literally went back and re-recorded the whole album with this keyboard. That's how, so when I tell you I fall in love with stuff, when I hear stuff and it sounds beautiful and I really like it, I fall in love with it. I went back and recorded that whole album. Now, again, I've learned my lesson. I probably wouldn't do that now. Actually, on my latest album, the one I just put out last year, I have some stuff that kind of happened the same way. I had recorded some of the original songs like about 3 to 4 months, and then I put some covers on there. I got a new keyboard and stuff since then, and I played the new stuff with the newer keyboard, and then the older stuff with the older keyboard, and I didn't go back and change it. So if you listen to the album, there's about 4 of the songs on there that have a certain piano sound, and then the other ones have a different piano, the same piano sound. So, yeah, trust me, I've learned my lesson from this, man. It's chimes every 4 measures. I didn't get that bad, but yeah, I've learned my lesson. He said, okay, I'm late to the game. I'm gonna have to get that ring, the bell to get notifications. Yeah, definitely hit the notification bell, man. That's how you get on it. You say I used to only play live until COVID and had to change gears to home music production. Yeah, man. That is that's a bummer. A lot of us had to make some changes, man. It's so many musicians I know that kind of fell off, man, because of the pandemic. I literally know people who lost their homes, who lost their cars, had to, get their homes foreclosed on, cars repoed and stuff like that. It wasn't many people, but you hear about 1 or 2 people that has that effect on them, and it affects us all as musicians. So we all had to pivot a little bit, man, and make some changes, but I'm glad you're into it, man, and doing your thing. And I hope you got something from this session. All right, so guys, let me know what you're thinking. So that, again, we've gone through the process of producing a song here. If you have any questions, let me know. We've been on about an hour and a half now almost. So if you have any questions, I'll take a few more before we jump off for today. Before we get to next week's session, we'll be learning some more stuff. So let me know if you guys have any more questions in the chat. But again, just the lessons here is just to take your music production, just think of it simple, man. Don't overthink it. You see, we literally came up with an entire song here in less than like 40 minutes. And I would have done it much faster than this if I hadn't been on the live stream explaining it, right? If I hadn't been here and I had just been sitting down doing this to myself, I would have got this done in probably 20 minutes. Easy. Really easy. From the idea in my head, just playing with stuff, playing with the instrumentation to a song in any genre. And that's including, I know a lot of people have problems with lyrics and stuff like that. That's including lyrics for me too. If I hear something like this, like I got this, let me go back over here. I have the piano doing this. So dun, 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 dun. I could put some lyrics to that really easy. So let me turn my piano on here. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. So this is a sexy song. I want you, girl. I don't know. It's not the best lyric in the world, but I promise you I would record it so I could hear what it sounds like. And then I could go through this process that we're talking about and saying, oh, okay, that doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. Oh, let me say this instead. Let me do that. So I love you, girl. I need you, girl. So I love you. I need you. So what's the melody? I need you, girl. I love you, girl. I need you, girl. We all, that's the guy thing. We all need and want the girl, right? So that's typical lyric production. I would just put that stuff in there, man, to see what it sounds like, record it, and actually, let me see. Let me try something here just for experimentation, really quickly. I don't know if I can do this while I'm on the live stream. I just want to see if I can. Let me see. Check. Huh. I actually can. Check. I actually can. So let's do this. Let me show you how this works. Let's just have some fun right quick. This is my vocal production techniques. I'll show you guys how this works, how I'll take through my vocals. So let's see. Let me get my mouse here to working again. It's acting crazy. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate this a couple times and I'll stack these. Let's do 4. So let's do this. I'll take the piano out now just so I can, so you guys can hear my vocals. I wasn't aware I could actually do this on the live stream because see that my mic here that I'm talking to is coming to you guys on the live stream, but my DAW here is actually picking it up as well. I didn't know it was doing both. So this is something good to hear. Good to know that I can do this. So check 1, 2. So let's do this. I'm gonna record exactly what I said. I love you, girl. I need you, girl. Right? And that's what I did. And this is what I said. This is my vocal production. So let's do that really quickly. That's where it says, I love you, girl. Let me see. How did I do it? And that's right. dun, 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 dun. That's what I did, right? Okay. Let me back it up so I can give myself a little bit of playtime in there. I love you, girl. No, that's not how I did it. What's the tempo again? Let me go back to my piano listen. I forgot the 2, 3, and da 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 da. That's what I did. Okay, got it. Let's record that. Let's go back to solo here. Turn that off. I love you, girl. 2, 3, and I love you, girl. I need you, girl. Not the best vocals, but again, we're going to make it work. Let's stack it. Let me turn that down because I know it's going to be kind of loud. To stack it. And I love you, girl. I need you, girl. I like these thick stacks, so I like to stack mine at least 4 times. 2, and I love you, girl. I need you, girl. One more time. So that was the 3rd one. We'll do the 4th one. My I love you, girl song. 2, and I love you, girl. I need you, girl. Now, so what I would do from there, since I have those stacks, let me turn the record off, and then let me go pan them. So I would do, let's put that one all the way to the left. We'll put this one all the way to the right, and then maybe this one a little bit less. So maybe, around 70, 80 or something like that. That should be fine. Kind of give them that stereo sound. Now, let's take a listen to what those sound like, just the vocals by itself. So check this out. I love you, girl. I need you, girl. Cool. Not, again, not the best vocals, but all you're doing is laying down the idea. Let's listen to it all together. I love you, girl. And all of them are a little bit too loud. Let me turn them down. I turned that other one down. Let me, somewhere around there, I guess. There we go. All right, we'll hear what it sounds like kind of in context. I love you, girl. I need you, girl. Now, if I wanted to be really fancy, somebody mentioned neo soul in here. What I would really do, if I want to go over here and be fancy, I just throw some auto tune on these vocals just to make them sound better for my mixing purposes just for now. So let me put some auto tune on here. My Auto Tune Pro, and that's here. We'll choose the key. We are in B flat minor, right? So let's see, what would that be? A sharp. We'll choose minor here. I like to turn that down a little bit, and then I'm gonna copy this across all of them. So that's not the right button. It's supposed to be this one. Get a little auto tune going there. Just tune them up a little bit. See what that sounds like. I need you, girl. Got ourselves a song, man. I'm telling you, it's just this simple process. Again, is that gonna get me a Grammy? No, it's not gonna give me a Grammy. I love you, girl. I need you, girl. It's not gonna give me a Grammy, but it's a song, and I guarantee you, each one of you who have just heard this will have I love you, girl, I need you, girl in your head for the rest of the day. I guarantee you. You're going to be going around, I love you, girl, I need you, girl. Because it's a catchy, you have that kind of complete sentence kind of thing going on. I guarantee you're going to be singing for the rest of the day. So you see how that works? That's the vocal production. Again, if I wanted to do, I would make the vocals, I would add some harmonies here and there. What am I doing? I would add whatever some harmonies are in there. Maybe whatever the rest of the lyrics are, I would add some harmonies and stuff to that. Make it more interesting if I was doing this vocally. Again, it's a jazz song with a piano instrumental, so probably wouldn't add this. But just to show you how it works. It's really this simple process. Really the simple process. All right. So what you guys saying in the chat? Let me go back. Or what did we end off? Somebody was asking about with the poll. So you're saying, yeah, we did that one. Talked about COVID. Frank is asking, that's what you were saying about neo soul. Do I consider neo soul more jazz or R&B? That's a good question. Probably. I would say it's probably closer to R&B, but it definitely does have a jazz feel to it. So it's definitely an amalgamation of the two. I would probably say around, what was the ratio I would give it? Maybe like a 60-40, something like 60% R&B and then like 40% jazz. That's probably what I would, somewhere around there. I mean, and again, you asked me, it would depend on the song. If you point out a song to me, it would be the song. Like I could say, oh yeah, this song definitely leans more toward R&B, then the other one leans more towards jazz. So again, it would depend, but just generally speaking, I would say probably more towards R&B. You said I've dealt with people that don't like to call it neo soul because of the neo part. Yeah, people get hung up on names and stuff. A rose by any other name is still sweet. Is that how you say that old saying? A rose by any other name is still sweet, still smells sweet. So you can call it what you want. It's still going to be what it is. So people get hung up on like the craziest stuff. Lee's saying, yeah. Is that something anyone else has run into, or is it just me? So you asked about that. One reason I'm asking is that this is starting to sound like neo soul to me. Yeah, it definitely has a neo soul vibe to it, for real. Harper saying the tempo is great where it is. However, can we play with the tempo a bit, making it a bit faster before vocals? Yeah, you can actually do that. So let's do that. And this is the good part about having these MIDI instruments. You can just change the tempo. Let me take the vocals out of there. So let's speed it up. Let's say what you want to go to. Let's just say 100. Speed up 10 BPM. Let's see what that sounds like. That's faster. Yep, that gives it a different groove. Let's try it again. Let's speed it up to like 110. See what that sounds like. That may be a little fast, but let's see what it sounds like. Making the beginning of the measure. Actually, that doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, those sped up tempos don't sound too bad at all. Let me see how fast we can get it before I don't like it. Let's go to 120. That may be like pushing a line from, because I now already got the slower tempo in my head. So I could probably settle for something around that let me try 105. Kind of good medium. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah, and that's, like I say, you could play with all of this stuff, man. Just play with it all and make it work. That's how you do this. Yeah, Harper saying my choice on tempo. Yeah, I mean, this is something I would do during this process as I'm going through the songwriting process. This whole first part of it will be just the mind dump and getting that idea down, and making sure I got something reasonable I can work from, and then I'll play with the tempos, kind of speed it up and slow it down and stuff. See Brian saying yes, true. Harper saying maybe not a Grammy, but it will definitely get you some money. Yeah, you can, and that's the good thing about this, man. This is, guys, when I tell you this is the greatest part about the time that we live in nowadays, where we have the opportunities just to do. I can literally sit here in my room and within an hour or two produce an entire song, mix it and master it, get it uploaded to the streaming sites and all of that kind of stuff, and have it ready for sale tomorrow. Like that is uncanny to me, because you got to remember, I still come from a little bit of the older times where you had to pay by the hour to go into somebody's studio. You had to book studio time, and it was really expensive. You're talking about $100, $150 an hour for a decent studio. You go in there, you record the stuff. You're dependent on them for their equipment and them mixing and mastering. And then you got to leave. You got to wait for a week for them to send you stuff on a cassette tape or on an ADAT, if you guys remember that, what they call ADATs, stuff like that. And then you had to, if you needed to go back in and re-record something, that you had to book another session. So you could be 3 or 4 months working on a song. And then to get that out, there was no SoundCloud, there was no YouTube or anything like that where you could put this stuff on like CD Baby and get it out there to the streaming sites. These people were, you had to pay money to go to a distribution company, thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm talking about like now what CD Baby for a song costs like $30. I literally tonight, by tomorrow, I could have a song out to sell. So like, yeah, it's unheard of. Melita saying, haha, yeah, I was singing along. I love you, boy. I need you, boy. See, told you. There you go, Melita. Then you change the lyrics. You make it work for you. I tell you, you're going to be singing it. I love you, girl. I need you, girl. For the rest of the day. That is hilarious. Bruce is saying, can you master the project and mix it in Cubase if you want to? Absolutely. Yes. I showed that. Bruce, I don't think you were on the live stream that we did a couple of weeks ago. Go check that one out. Go look at the channel I just showed you. Let me go back to it. As a matter of fact, let me pull it up for you. I'll pull it up for you. I'll just put the video in the chat where I actually showed doing exactly what you talked about in Cubase. This is the video right here, I believe. So yeah, let me share that, copy the link, share it with you in chat. So this is the video where we actually did this. I did exactly what you're talking about in Cubase. So yeah, just click that link and go ahead and check it out. You're saying the 105 tempo is good. Yeah, I think I felt that 105 tempo too. Yeah, the 120 pushed it. It started getting to there where it's kind of chipmunky thing, right? It's like getting a little too fast, like, yeah. And Ferguson, slow tempo for lovemaking. Yeah, it just depends on the vibe you're going for. I've done that. I kind of approach it like that too. It's like, man, I want to make a smooth lovemaking song. And then you imagine, not to get too R-rated here on this live streams on the internets, but yeah, if you, how can I say this gingerly in a PG way? So if you think about that, the act of lovemaking or whatever, I mean, you can kind of put yourself in that mindset of like what it would feel like to, be up with the person that whoever you're with, whoever your choice of person is, and, be in that moment and just kind of what the way I think of it is like, I like to soundtrack life. Like I think about these moments, like what does it sound like when somebody's walking in the grocery store? If I saw somebody walking in the grocery store on a video with no sound, like what kind of music in my head would I think that would sound like? If I see the look on their person's face and I see them like a little smirk, a little smile, something like that, I can make it like a happy song. If I see them walking slowly, maybe keeping their head down or something like that, I may make it a little slower tempo. I kind of like to soundtrack life like that. So if you think about the whole lovemaking process and stuff like that, you can just soundtrack it. That's the way I think about it. Just tap into that feeling that you have when you're in that. So Harper saying PG-13, yeah, maybe. So I think I did a more PG version of it, PG-13 here in the States. So you got the movie ratings are really weird. Like PG-13 from R. There's really not much difference between a PG-13 and an R movie, except for a couple of F-bombs and maybe showing some boobs or something like that. That's literally only, and then some blood or something like that. That's literally the only difference. So it's like those ratings are crazy. But again, I think the biggest jump is from PG to PG-13. PG is just basically nothing. Like there's no, even the content of it's not adult content. You don't have anybody talking about lovemaking or anything like that. The PG-13, they're talking about it and they're showing it. They're probably got some not bare boobs, but some boobs in a bra or something like that. So it pushes the line. So yeah. But all right, guys. So hopefully you got something out of this session today. We're going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I always appreciate you being here and joining the sessions. We always have a good time with everything we're doing here. I love talking to you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video as well. If you got something out of it, make sure you hit the like button. That definitely helps it spread, helps it go out to other musicians, and helps it show back up in your YouTube feed as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. And we're going to call it there. So thank you guys again so much. I was looking at the chat again. So Harper saying, yeah, would be the leader walking through the store singing I Love You Boy soundtrack. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, Melita's going to be walking through the store talking about, I love you, boy. I need you, boy. But yeah, y'all going to be singing that for the rest of the day. But all right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you guys same time next week. Look for the live stream. Again, look for any polls and stuff that I put up. A lot of times I'll let you guys select the stuff that we're going to be dealing with, that we're going to talk about. So check that out. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share the video with any other musicians you may know who may get something out of this, and music producers and stuff. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you in the next section. Have a